My name's Adam. I come from Dartford. The traffic in general is very problematic. The crossing and issues with the crossing can cause delays that stretch back quite a long way from the crossing itself.
The longest I've sat in traffic around that area is 6 hours. Not moving, not able to move a single inch. People just getting out of their vans or their cars, just having a walk around.
I like Dartford. I like the town. I like the people. The traffic is a major, it's a bone of contention. It's one of those things that actually make living here really difficult.
I'm Alex. I'm a secondary school teacher in Dartford. I mean, it's really almost a total shutdown when there's traffic issues on the M25.
If I can't get into school, we all can't get into school, then that becomes a safety issue for the children as well. But then the children can't come in, so they lose learning time as well.
The cohort of students we've got in now, they've had quite a disrupted time in terms of their education over the last few years. There's big gaps in students' education. Any missed opportunity for learning is a further hindrance for those kids.
So my name's Michelle. I work for a company, Tool Hire, obviously logistically within a company that are using vehicles every day on the road. That's impossible to plan. You can't ever guarantee anything to a customer, and therefore you can't ever guarantee what your income's going to be for that day because of the traffic. And if you are working on a smaller profit, that's the difference between you making money or losing money.
My name's Richard Nash, and I'm a teacher on the Bridge Estate in Dartford. One of the worst things I think I've come across in terms of staffing isn't just how other staff at the college are impacted, but I've actually been looking for staff and actively had interviews, and then on those days our candidates have dropped out because they've come in, been held up by the traffic, not made their appointment time, and just said they're not staying.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to sit in traffic like after you've worked all week? Who wants to sit in traffic for an hour and a half for like a journey that's probably half an hour at most? Sometimes more than that. It's just crazy.
It becomes a childcare problem, a caring problem. If you've got to get an appointment or you have to be somewhere, we're always checking. Actually, I did it last night. I came home from work, needed to go back down into Dartford to go to the Marks and Spencers, and my daughter said to me, "Oh, Mummy, well, when are we going?" When I got home, I said, "Well, not just yet because the traffic's really bad." Actually, thinking about it now, that's what I always do.
It's very exhausting just thinking about traffic all day. You have to be checking all the time and have your sat nav all times. You can't risk just taking a regular route. I can't go and see my daughter, spend a bit of time with her, then work later that night, which would be preferential to me. There's no such thing as just a calm end to the day.
We joked at work the other day, we had a new start, and they said, "Oh, is there anything, what can you recommend?" We said, "Put a book in your handbag." And she was like, "Why?" I was like, "Well, if you get stuck, you won't be able to move."
I've purchased from Amazon essentially is a commode for older people who struggle with getting to the toilet on time. I keep it under the passenger seat in the car.
I've known people who've been stuck in traffic when they're heavily pregnant, partners panicking, like they're in the car for all this time.
I abandoned my car once to walk home because it would be quicker for me to walk, and I know that I'm not the only person to have done that.
Like my middle daughter, she's got sort of a part-time job now at Bluewater, and you could say, "Oh, I'll pick you up at 9:30 or whatever." You come out of the development, boom, stuck. She's at a shopping centre on her own in the dark.
Mum's mum lives in Essex over the crossing. She's now 95, nearly 96. She has carers coming in to help her. Sometimes if there are traffic issues, it just makes it impossible for them to go over and help her when she needs the help.
Some nurseries only open till 5. I've obviously had to go with a nursery that's obviously a lot more expensive because they will open till 7. Nobody wants to leave their child in nursery until 7 o'clock, and that is not something that I ever want to do. But unfortunately, when I have to have that allowance, that because of the traffic, that is the possibility. It's a shame. I didn't actually realise how much it has impacted without talking about it, because it's not something you just get on with it, I guess. But it doesn't mean it's okay. It doesn't mean that we should just accept it. But it's everyday life, and we've just adapted without even realising, I guess.
But as I get older, we'll probably all move. I can't see how, and I am worried about the health implications of it.
The issues, with pollution and the environment and stuff. Why do you want to have people sitting in traffic hour after hour after hour?
I think one thing, I'd like another crossing. I think that's really important, because there's only Dartford Tunnel and then you've got sort of Blackwall, really. That's got to change. That I can't even believe we've only got those crossings.
There are no alternatives for many people who are trying to get to their job, who are trying to see family. That impossibility means that it's important that there is something provided to try and sort of make what is quite a large problem a lot easier for people.
It's clearly inevitable that something needs to change, something needs to give. But in terms of by day, it kind of needs to happen now, because I'm already considering, is this the place to work sometimes, just because of that issue. So the longer that goes, the harder it will be for us to get staff, and the harder I can see myself saying this is the place to work.
It is really needed to improve the area, just so people can live their lives, not even for monetary things, just so people can actually, live their lives.